Sakai voice.
Sakai voice. Over there, we have Atlantic salmon and like that's it. It's like a society, people. The system is broken.
Very disheartening to see things like our government agreeing to send a lot of money to Israel. My name's Charlie. I'm 30. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I'm an accountant for a music venue, so I do all their finance and bookkeeping and anything money related for them. So it's a concert venue, so we do live music shows. We have bands, and the Crocodile is the name. I work for the music venue itself, so we have lots of bands that come in and perform, but I don't work for a specific band. I work for the venue itself. Honestly, I've been really interested in a long time. I'm particularly interested in transportation and infrastructure, and I've always wanted to experience the train system, what it's like to be able to get around the city in an efficient way. And I like the way that things are built and understanding how everything works. And so it's really interesting to see the efficiency and infrastructure required to operate something like that. And it's been that was a big draw. I mean, amongst other things, that's like probably what I was most interested in seeing to come visit. I think I experienced a lot of frustration with transportation in America. I visited New York a few years back and saw their subway system and such. And Japan is renowned for their trains, and I just had to come see. I also just wanted to travel and see what a new country is like, and I've heard really wonderful things about Tokyo and Kyoto, and I wanted to go and visit some of the temples and shrines down there and experience a little bit of the Shinto culture, and that was really interesting for me as well. People are just extraordinarily polite and aware of their personal space, and in Seattle that is not true at all. People are loud or just like, inconsiderate or not aware of where they are, what they're doing, and I think that is the biggest cultural difference I've noticed so far, and just the respect that you get from people just by existing. You get that because you're a person and you didn't have to do anything else to earn it, whereas I feel like that is not true back home for me. People are, that's not the default reaction. I hate my country because there's things I like about it, but there's a lot of things that are really frustrating. And I think the biggest things that frustrate me are how we, as a country, choose to spend our money and what things we prioritize instead of others. Like, for one, transportation. That's we would rather spend our money on things that don't benefit the American people. Not having a federally provided healthcare for American people is insane. Like, we could make that if we wanted to, but it's not something that the government has been able to do. They can't agree enough to be able to accomplish that kind of thing, and it's very disheartening to see things like the most recent thing is our government agreeing to send a lot of money to Israel for support in the current conflict, and that's something that the Republicans and the Democrats can agree on immediately and just pass a bill to spend $20 billion, but they can't do that for us. They'll spend it on weapons overnight, but they can't agree on something that would benefit the people who live in America. Well, it's funny because you probably know, but Starbucks is from Seattle. I would not be surprised by that at all. I think that's something that a lot of Americans support, and support Israel and the Jewish people. And I think that's not. I wouldn't be surprised that no, that's true. I think I would say like 80% of people are in support of Israel. But I think that most of that is older people. I think that more of the younger generation is less in support. I think that if you were looking at people 20 to 30 years old, it would be more like 20%, 25%. I do not agree with what Israel is currently doing. I do believe that everyone has a right to a place to live, and that they have gone through hardship, but I don't believe that continuing violence is the answer. And I think that obviously what is happening over there right now is a problem, and what Hamas did is equally horrible. But violence should never be condoned on either side, and seeing our country funding weapons to help with the oppression of a people like that is very sad. For one thing, there's a lot of multicultural and diversity in America, and so there's a lot of different types of people and backgrounds that have all sorts of different experiences to draw from when they're producing these things. And I also think that there's a lot of infrastructure and things that make it possible for people to do that. We are lucky to live a pretty privileged life in America, despite some of our hardships, with healthcare and things. And I think that there's a lot of people who are having their basic needs met, and so they're able to explore the arts and able to put effort into creating those things. And people who don't have their core needs met aren't able to focus on doing those things because they're in self-preservation and trying to provide for their families. So I think that that is a big reason in America. I also think that there's a lot of money in entertainment, and so big business, Hollywood, for example, big businesses are able to put a lot of money into those things too, and create like the blockbuster movies and all that big stuff. I think the best thing for bands that are trying to get exposure and become popular and things like that is really focus on their local scene first. It'll grow from there. Partner with local venues and venues that can help you grow as an artist. So for example, at the Crocodile, a band that we think is great and want to support, we'll book them in our small room first and help them get success in that room. And then when they've grown in popularity through shows or the like, we'll move them into our bigger room upstairs at the 800 cap. And when they outgrow that room, we can take them to a bigger venue. Don't focus on being the big band. Be passionate about your music and make the music that you want. And if people will resonate with that, I think, and that's how you become popular, is you do what you're best at and let your music kind of speak for itself. And I think that if people can focus on that instead of just trying to create something that will be popular. But that being said, it's challenging to even if you are true to your music, it can be challenging to get the exposure or sell the tickets that you need. Partnering with either the venue or a manager and working to promote your shows via social media or local posters. Or I think just the current situation is that many people feel very strongly about owning guns in the U.S. and they are very afraid that the government is going to take them away from them. They are never going to go away in America. I don't think that will happen. I think that the only path forward is to have better restrictions and control on the guns, but I don't think that we will ever get rid of them entirely. And so I think we need to just put better laws in place to control who has access to them and how easy it is to get them. That's part of the problem, is people can't agree, and so I think that we have to make some compromises, and it's sad. It is really sad, and I think that, but unfortunately, I think that it's the reality, and maybe in the distant future we could get rid of them, but I think that in the short term, it would be very, very hard.
Germany, Cologne, Maris, 24. Printer, not papers, banners for big companies. Yeah, I'm at here 2 days and I'm very happy. It's a dream for me. Very here. I spent, I wait 7 years to it. I lay the money on the side for 7 years to come here. Culture, the people. I hear a lot about it that you are kind and everyone is looking at the next person besides them. And I was very interested how true is it, and I'm very happy that everything is right. The samurais, the old and mangas, I need to say that, and yeah, it's very interesting for me. Kindness, and there, it's like I am from Germany. There, people go on laying people. They go and say, okay, not my problem in this example. And when you are here, you see the people are looking at other people's, are looking, okay, there I can help, I help. And I see many videos where this example is happening, and I want to see, okay, is this true or is this false, or what kind of kindness is here? Happiness, they're helping other people, and they're looking, okay, how when an old guy came in the bus by us, the people are sitting there and make no space. Here is another thing, when an old guy or a pregnant woman come in, the people make space. It's and it's not only one guy or one woman, it's everyone. And by us in Germany, one guy stands up and finish. No, not by everyone. I see it only by not so many people. Some people are standing up for old guys in this example, but not everyone. And here I see it that everyone is standing up. Or like today, I came out, I sit in the bus and I see that one woman is thanking another guy for letting him pass, for letting her pass. I come here and only tourist places or something, but I see everything. It's very interesting for me to be here. I expect very interesting days, because what we planned is that tomorrow the Tokyo Tower, after that the Sky Tree, and I hope that I learn something about the culture and see something from the land. And a little bit outside, when I drive to Kyoto or Osaka, that I see how the farmers or the people on the villages lives.
Michael, 31. Nothing.
Nicholas, 30 years old. I'm a software developer. I work at Ticketmaster, big company, sell tickets. Taylor Swift, yeah, very popular at work. Yeah, I got a little messy, but we're good now. Well, it's a technical issue. It's Amazon Web Services, because there were too many people trying to buy tickets at the same time, and the system couldn't handle it. There was like 500 million requests in 30 seconds, which I don't think any system can handle. Well, I love the culture. I love the big city, the crazy experience that comes with being in Tokyo. And this time, because it's when I can get time off work. And it's nice and cool here. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. Perfect time.
Yeah, back home it's like -20.
With snow up to here. Well,
No,
it's normal.
it seems
it's very,
pretty normal.
Yeah.
Japan is very beautiful. Very clean, very organized. Everybody is very nice. The food is better.
The food. That's true.
Architecture, everything is much better. Much more interesting.
Yeah.
Very boring at home.
Yeah.
Over there, we have Atlantic salmon and like that's it. The salmon at home is okay. No, here it's the best, man. And tuna, number one.
Tuna.
Here, yeah.
Best experience?
The best experience.
The food is amazing.
The food is
And just-
probably number one, but then
I just love walking around in like Shinjuku, Kabukicho, with all the lights and all the
Shibuya.
crazy things. I love the transit system here is very good. All the trains, very easy to get around.
very
Yeah.
organized.
Yeah. Well, the worst experience is the pain in my feet because we
Oh.
walk so much.
A lot of walking.
Lots of walking, but it's so fun.
Yesterday we saw other foreigners and they said the same thing. They said, "Oh, our feet." But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean,
A1.
I wish I could live here,
Yeah.
but I don't want to. I don't want to intrude. Everything.
Everything. It's a complete 180. The service, you go to a restaurant or any store, the service is amazing. Everyone's really nice and wants to help. Back home, you go into a store and sometimes they ignore you. They don't want to help you.
They want you out.
Yeah, they don't want to work. They don't want to be nice.
Here
It's too hard being nice back home. But here, everyone's really nice. So that's another thing. The prices of everything is way lower here. Very affordable for us to come. So that's another big. Sometimes we see things in stores and we say, "Oh, this is really cheap here." We look back home and it's way more expensive back home for the exact same thing.
Obviously.
Yeah. The same with the konbinis. Everything is cheap. A beer at the konbini in Asahi, 3 times the price back home.
Can't drink it. Can't drink in public.
Oh yeah, we can drink in the streets. Do I love Canada? Yeah, of course.
What about you?
I mean, yeah, it's better than third world country. I love the country, but at least where we live, I'm really not a fan of just like society, people. In my opinion, there's nothing that needs to be known. It's nothing special.
There's really nothing too
Yeah.
remarkable. It's a nice little town. Montreal's nice. There's good restaurants and stuff. But it's hard for us to say when we compare to here. I feel like here has way better options. I think it's just so much more dense here. You have so many more options in a tight, in Tokyo, whereas in Montreal or even I guess in the U.S. and New York, let's say, it's more spread out. Maybe harder to do it. Maybe harder to find places. It's not as easy to access through transit. The transit in Canada is not very good. The public transit. So it's hard to get around to the different cities within the country. Whereas here, you have the Shinkansen, and you can get to Kyoto in 2 hours, no problem. Whereas if I want to go to, let's say, Toronto, well, it's not as fast and it's way more expensive. So, the beer. We have good beer. Very good beer in Montreal.
And it is like safe, very safe compared to the U.S.
Culturally, I mean, the people are relatively okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to say when you've lived it your whole life. I don't really know any specific details. It's just okay.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Well, I don't like Montreal or Quebec, but
Wow.
Alberta's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Alberta is a province in Canada, like to the west a bit. That's a lot better.
Beautiful mountains. Beautiful
And people are
mountains.
very, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Everything. Police is nice. But Montreal, Quebec, too many like assholes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very selfish. It's very selfish.
All of Canada, well, each place is pretty different, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quebec is very corrupt. Government is corrupt.
Yeah.
For real. The streets are bad. Garbage everywhere. People are fed up.
That's a good question. I wish I had an answer, but
The system is broken.
yeah, the drug epidemic.
Lots of drugs.
Yeah,
In
But
Quebec, US.
it's starting in Canada, opioids, but now there's a lot of crystal meth and
No, dude, Montreal's filled with drugs, bro.
yeah, I
All of
know,
it.
but like it's mostly crystal than opioids right now.
There's tons of opioids.
Ah,
Tons.
yeah, I'm just saying it's mostly. I think you'll find more crystal. Anyway,
I think there's just a lot of everything.
yeah, there's everything. Immigration.
Too much.
Too much immigration right now. Too many people coming in. They have nowhere to stay, and so it's hard to find places. And rent is getting very expensive, and that's why people are going homeless. I think if you have skills or something, then yeah, I think so. Or you want to go study at the universities, then as long as you bring something of value to the country, I think that's the point of immigration, right? The country wants you to be a productive member of society, but if you come and you don't, you just want to bum around, then it's not so good. I mean, right now I would say don't come because there's no room. There's no more places to rent. There's nowhere for you to stay, unfortunately. So it's driving the rent prices up.
I mean, it sucks for them more than it sucks for us because they're just going to be stuck like begging for money.
But it sucks. Yeah, it sucks for us too because
of course.
they're taking up the jobs that, like, let's say, that our kids during the summer would want to have, like working at the restaurants and stuff. Well, now all these immigrants will be taking those jobs, and then our Canadians won't be able to get them because there's just too many people applying.